Your interaction with Ken Starr, a lot of people, because if you look at the history of Ken Starr, a lot of people think that he was running interference for the Clintons. Did you ever get that impression?
No, I didn't, because I worked mainly through Dave Shippers. Dave was so nice. I mean, he even wrote the most wonderful autograph in his book Sellout and sent that to me. It was just tremendous. Dave always believed me. And have you read Sellout?
No, I have never even heard of it. No.
Oh, Dave Shippers' book. He was the lead counsel on the for Ken Starr in investigating all of the women.
Okay.
And it was just awesome about how he tried to get the Democrats to read my sealed file, in Congress. And they wouldn't do it at all.
Now, what was the public's reaction during the Ken Starr investigation when you came out? How were you received then?
Very well. Very well by the public. Not very well by, the Democrats, but very well by the general public. Much positive reviews. Got very few negative reviews. Just today. I'll get a few today that are just absolutely horrible, but I just delete those and go on and try to keep positive.
And the media, the Clintons seem to have an unbelievable influence over the media that they can just do no wrong. What's been your experience with that?
I have no idea, unless a lot of the media were involved in all of the money dealings of the Clintons. I absolutely do not understand it to this day. I was shocked when the young lady Goldberg for New York Times came out with her op-ed, 2 or 3 months ago, and said, I believe Juanita.
And Joe Scarborough just came out, too. Joe Scarborough just came out the other morning and said he believed you.
I know. And, I watched that on YouTube. And he goes along for 3.5 minutes just blasting Trump. And then out in left field comes this statement of his conversations he'd had with the Democrats that believed me. That was wild. I was surprised that he still had a job with MSNBC the next morning.
Well, I tell you, I'm no fan of Trump. I'm no fan of Trump whatsoever. But so still, you can still believe Juanita Broaddrick. You can still hate the Clintons and know what they are because it's as plain as the nose on your face. You know what I mean? And,
right.
And still out like Trump.
I feel about Trump like James Woods tweeted. He said, Trump may be vinegar, but Hillary is arsenic.
True.
That's what he tweeted before the election.
Well, what do you make of this thing last night with Trump making these horrible comments about the Haitians and the Africans and stuff? It's just so, what do you you know what? I'm not even going to ask you that because you know what? Good. I'm not even going to ask you that because you're going to be a guest in his hotel next week. And I don't want to put you on the spot.
That's okay. I just wish that he would have better control, of what he says. So many times in the past, he's made horrible comments. And then in a week or two, they seem to work themselves out. And many times he's right. But I just wish that he would. I know he works hard. I know he does. I have no doubt that he's a hardworking man. But he just needs to curtail what he says.
How many times have you met with Trump?
Twice.
And this was at the debate, that event at the debate there?
Yeah, just before the debate and after the debate.
Oh, that's a good question. And now when you were there at that debate and that piece of garbage comes walking in and you could see the look on his face, he was very nervous. Did you ever make eye contact with Bill Clinton at that debate?
No, not because the way we were sitting. And I explained that in my book, that we were sitting where we had to pivot to the right between the camera platform and a huge American flag. And we could see through there, but we couldn't exactly see him, but we knew where he was. But let me tell you this, that picture that you see of him with his eyes bugged out, he had no idea we were going to be there until we walked in.
So he saw you.
And until he saw us, yes. Kathleen Willey and Kathy Shelton and Paula Jones and myself. We were hidden, the entire day. And no one knew we were going to be there.
Now, that was right around the same time as the Access Hollywood tape had came out, right?
Right. And I had so much grief over that from my son. I had been in Breitbart, at Breitbart for an interview at the Watergate Hotel, the old Watergate. And as I was leaving Washington, I get a call from Trump's people asking me to be at the debate the following day. And it was 5:00 in the evening. And I was on my way to Arkansas. And I told them I'd have to think about it, and I'd call them during my layover in Dallas. And I got to thinking about it, that tapes just come out. I was just so hurt about those things that he said. But I got to thinking, we've been told to go away for so many years. And this was our opportunity to come forward in such a public forum to be heard again. So I agreed to go. Got home about 1:00 in the morning, got back on a plane at 6 that morning for St. Louis, and was hidden the whole time until we left to go to Trump's hotel to meet him.
And how did that go when you met with him?
It was wonderful. He was so soft-spoken and so kind, came over to each of us. When we got there, we were taken up through a service elevator and met him on the top floor in this beautiful big room. It was just very nice, and he came over to each one of us. And then all of a sudden, somebody says, well, let's go into this room. And I looked at Kathleen Willie. She's a good friend. And I said, is this where we go out? And so she said, I don't know. So we followed them in there. And here's this long table. And they tell us where to sit. And I thought, well, what is this all about? And so they tell us where to sit. Mr. Trump comes and sits in between us. And I'm looking around thinking, what's going on? And then about that time, Mr. Trump says, let them in. And all of a sudden, in the door comes all these cameras and reporters. And I turned to her and I said, what's going on? We had no idea.
Oh, my God.
That there was going to be a press conference. None whatsoever. And so all of a sudden they come in and Mr. Trump says, these ladies have something they'd like to say to you. And I thought, what? We had no idea that we were supposed to speak. Now, whether this was planned or someone forgot to tell us, I still do not know to this day. But it's something to do again. I would do anything to help Mr. Trump defeat Hillary and having Bill Clinton back in the White House. And so knowing that the tapes had just come out, I kept thinking, what on earth am I going to say? So I remembered the day before, I had tweeted, actions speak louder than words. Bill Clinton raped me. And Hillary Clinton threatened me, and there's no comparison. So that's more or less where I went with that. And thank goodness I was the third one to speak. And then after that, he would take questions. They were ushered out the door, and we were taken to the debate.
Fascinating. Behind the scenes. I had a little experience. Wait, was Roger Stone involved in arranging that meeting, getting you over there?
Roger says he was, and I believe him. Whether he had written the letter to Steve Bannon, I had a reporter call me a while back and said, was this arranged by Roger Stone? And I told him, I have no idea. I was called by the Trump people. I have no idea who arranged it, but I was never contacted by Roger Stone.
I'll tell you my involvement in this. Okay. I had gotten a phone call that same day from someone who had just gotten, a guy who I know him well, and he had just gotten off the phone with Roger Stone. And what they wanted from me was they wanted the contact information for Kathy O'Brien. Do you know who Kathy O'Brien is? Oh, yeah, she was there. Kathy O'Brien was there? No, not Kathy O'Brien. Kathy Shelton. Yeah. Yeah. But do you know who Kathy O'Brien is? Yeah. Right. Yes, I do. Right. So they wanted the contact information for Kathy O'Brien because I guess they wanted her at that event, too. Do you know anything about that? My goodness. I never heard that. Yeah, and then you know what they said to me? And this guy had just gotten off the phone with Roger Stone because they came to me for. I interviewed Kathy O'Brien. I'm not convinced with her story, to tell you the truth. I wasn't convinced with her. Yeah. How about you? Yeah, thank you. I'm not either. Yeah. But I just don't know. I think we should respect, that she be heard. Absolutely. I agree with you. Get them on record, bring them on the show, get them on record, and people can believe it or not believe it. But you know what they said to me? And they had just gotten off the phone with Roger Stone. They said that they thought that it was Kellyanne Conway who released the Access Hollywood tape. Did you hear anything about that? What's that?
Oh, my. I've never heard that.
It was crazy. And this is the day of the debate. I'm getting this crazy phone call. And it was like, right? The guy just got off the phone with Roger Stone. I don't know.
Well, why would she do that?
Well, you know what they actually said, too? They said it was Kellyanne Conway who did it because she's effing CIA. That's what the word that came out of his mouth. Now, don't look at me. I'm just telling you what they said to me. I'm just telling you what they said to me.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I know. Now, did you, when I had on Liddy Denier, who was also a guest with Trump at the debate here in Las Vegas, and all of his guests here in Las Vegas, they were like stopped by the police and they were late to get to the thing because they were held up and they were held up at the screening. Did you experience anything like that? Any kind of harassment preventing you from getting in there?
No, none whatsoever because nobody knew we were there.
Gotcha. Now, what about afterwards? Any problems afterwards?
No, none whatsoever. You know, we were very sheltered. We were driven. And we were in this motorcade of about 10 black Escalades that were, they'd even shut down the highway for just it.
Yes,
just this motorcade.
So was Liddy Denier. Her and the honored guests, they were in a motorcade too with Trump and Pence on the side, but they weren't allowed in. They were held up because that's Vegas for you. You know what I mean? The corruption in this town.
The people knew the people knew they were coming where they didn't know we were there.
Right. The corruption in this town is unbelievable. So people can come here, by the way, if you're in Vegas, next week, the 19th and the 20th, you can meet and greet with Juanita Broaddrick at the Trump Hotel, and then the next day on the 20th at 555 East Washington at the Veterans Memorial. Now, there was an incident where you were audited by the IRS. Do you think that was traced back to the Clintons?
Oh, sure. It was just 2 months after the Dateline interview. Absolutely.
And how'd that turn out?
But, they did it in a backdoor fashion. My corporation, my nursing homes, was set up under a subchapter S. But when you audit a subchapter S corporation, you get the owner.
So this was a personal audit?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And how did
personal and business. And
how'd it turn out?
It turned out they owed me.
Okay. All right.
It wasn't much. It wasn't much, and it took a year to get it.
Okay. Well, it's that thing. You get the last laugh every time I tell you I love you. What else? Is there anything I failed to ask you that you want to get out?
No, not. I can't think of anything right at this moment, Ed. I just hope people will take a look at my website and order my book if they think it's worthy.
Gotcha. Juanita Broaddrick, Broaddrick. It's not like Broderick Crawford, the other one. Juanitabroaddrick.com. The book is You'd Better Put Some Ice on That. How I Survived Being Raped by Bill Clinton. Hey, let me ask you, did you ever hear any rumors down there in Arkansas about the cocaine in the Mena, Arkansas, any of that kind of stuff?
Not for several years. Not until he ran for president. I just kept my head down and stayed busy with my businesses. I didn't want to know about him.
Gotcha. Okay, Juanita Broaddrick, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If anything ever comes up again that you need to promote or something like that, give me a call. I'll put you right on the air, okay?
Oh, thanks so much, Ed. This was fun.
No, it really was. You're a delight. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night. Well, thank you so much, Juanita Broaddrick, author of the book, You'd Better Put Some Ice on That, and How I Survived Being Raped by Bill Clinton. You could find the book on Amazon. It'll be in the OppermanReport.com bookstore as well. Really enjoyed that. Juanita Broaddrick is a delightful woman. Her website is Juanita Broaddrick, BROADDRICK.com. Really delightful woman. A little conversation before the show. Very, very nice woman. Thank you so much, Juanita Broaddrick. You can catch her. She'll be here in town in Las Vegas on the 19th and the 20th, Friday and Saturday coming up. First at the Trump Hotel on Friday for a meet and greet. and then down at the Veterans Memorial at 5